Hi, I'm Al Kresta. Most historians believe that communism's final collapse began with John Paul II's 9-day return to Poland in June of 1979. The largest crowds in Polish history turned out and scared the authorities. The Pope intensified their anxiety and made them fret about the morrow when he prayed,
Wołam przeddzień święta zesłania. Wołam wraz z wami wszystkimi. Niech wstąpi duch Twój i odnowi oblicze ziemi, tej ziemi. Amen.
Today, I'm going to tell you a story too few people in the West know. Thankfully, Catholics in Poland are hard at work ensuring that we will never forget the greatest story never told. In that thunderbolt of prayer and pastoral visitation, many Poles glimpsed a whole new world. Polish historian Jan Zerin recalled,
When the Pope came in June of 1979, we found out again we were Poles. And that made the communist authorities disappear, if only for a week. It was the first week without communists since 1945.
In those massive crowds were a 33-year-old priest, Jerzy Popieluszko, and a 38-year-old Polish electrician, Lech Walesa. In August of 1980, Walesa stood outside the locked gate of the Lenin shipyard in Gdansk. He wanted his job back. Pictures of John Paul II were splashed all over the gates nearby, and I wonder if he was thinking that those locked gates of communistic hell could not ultimately prevail against the truth and freedom that he had just heard the successor of St. Peter preach. Well, on that day, Lech Walesa formed Solidarity, the only independent trade union in a Marxist-Leninist country. The pen he used to sign the union charter bore the image of John Paul II. Without the Pope, he said, we would have been unable to organize ourselves to fight communism. When communist authorities arrested Walesa, he announced, "This is the moment of your defeat. These are the last nails in the coffin of communism." John Paul II had urged him, "Don't be afraid." Communists boasted that they knew what was best for the worker, so shipyards and steel plants were declared religion-free zones. But when striking steel workers in Warsaw locked themselves in their plant, they wanted spiritual guidance and nourishment, and they sent an envoy to Poland's primate, Stefan Cardinal Wyszynski. "Give us masses. We want confessions." The cardinal deputized Father Jerzy Popieluszko. When martial law was declared and the government jailed the Solidarity leadership, only the Catholic Church was left to provide a friendly home and a voice for the Polish people. That voice became Father Jerzy's, and his parish became the friendly home. He provided supplies and medical support. His masses for the fatherland drew tens of thousands. His simple sermons posed a choice: freedom or bondage, forgiveness or revenge. When Radio Free Europe broadcast those sermons throughout Poland, the communist government conspired to kill him. Kill the priest. On October 19, 1984, 3 thugs from the Secret Service kidnapped Father Jerzy. They beat him to death, tossed his corpse into the Vistula River, and according to one of the perpetrators, the brutality of the beating drew to mind the scourging of Christ. Father Jerzy's corpse was discovered on October 30th and could only be recognized by his brother because of a birthmark. For 10 days, 38 million Poles had united in a concert of prayer, so they were prayed up for a 100,000-strong funeral procession march that terrified the authorities. Father Jerzy had counseled nonviolent revolution. He taught that cancerous forces of evil always turn in on and consume themselves. He demanded that the shedding of Christian blood should never become the excuse to shed another's. Persist in the fruitful power of love, came the words from this priest, the age of the crucified Jesus. Poland's suffering would be the threshold to her resurrection. Providentially, Father Jerzy's death falls between the two seismic events that bounded communism's collapse: John Paul II's 1979 visit and the 1989 free elections. I've already mentioned the significance of John Paul's visit, but with the 1989 election, no less a person than Mikhail Gorbachev admitted that it was all over. Later, he would say that communism's demolition would have been impossible without John Paul II. The Berlin Wall fell 5 months after the elections. Catholic spirituality is about a holiness that loves rather than escapes the world. Blessed Father Jerzy and Lech Walesa learned how to be in the world, but not of it. The Marxist revolutionary promises the world salvation through the shedding of blood in class warfare. The saint, on the other hand, offers his own blood. It worked out that way, and 38 million people found political deliverance and liberation in a bloodless revolution. The world, well, it's largely ignored this story, so it remains the greatest story never told. But the world has a debt to the Catholic Church.